Yo, what's going on, guys? We're Cat the Clutch here, back with a brand new video, man. Today we got the Seahawks versus the Rams. And man, if you guys don't know, I'm sure you guys should know. If you don't, you don't. It's whatever. But I'm actually a Seahawks fan. I went to the Seahawks and Cardinals game in Arizona. But yeah, if I could go to more games, I definitely would. In Seattle or whatnot. But the tickets are super expensive, don't get me wrong. They're like $500, $400, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have money to pop out at every single game, obviously, But hopefully in the future I do show up to more games or whatever, but I'm glad to even show up to a game, I've never been to a game before, but I've been a fan for like 11 or 12 years. But let's go to react to the Seahawks and Rams game, man. Cuz I was watching this game nervous as hell, scared. I was anxious, I couldn't even eat my food. That's how bad it was. I knew we would win, but like I was still so scared, Got my Seahawks jersey on.
Walker on the stars, looking for
representing.
And finds a little bit of a seam and a nice run to pick up 5 for this offense. Now, Seattle does have a big injury today.
It's going to be a story of today.
3rd and 5. Darnold back, going to float one deep, has a man, Shaheed! He's got it!
Dude, I was so hyped. I was like, let's fucking go. Shaheed, man.
A bomb to Rashid Shaheed, and that's a heck of a start.
Those ones are pretty easy to complete and a decisive read for Darnold.
Get a quick pass outside and a good move out there by Smith and Jigba. All of a
It's
sudden,
a Jackson, Smith, and Jigba.
In the end, you just don't get a ton
Dude,
of looks, but when you get
Jackson,
it, you take advantage.
Jackson went off this game. Barner had a good catch. Cooper Kupp did. Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Cooper Kupp did good. Man, and obviously Michael Dixon had a good punter too, and Jake Smyers had a field goal.
Believe me, the quarterback knows he's going to come back to that as well.
Walker inside, not much there.
Like I was saying, Walker had to step up to the plate for Charbonnet being out, and he really did.
Still going forward as Walker. How did he get that far?
He wore out the defense, man.
Walker gets it again. He tries to sprint to the edge. He's so fast. He gets there.
I was like really scared because like Rams fans and Bears fans were like, telling the Rams to go win it all and beat the Seahawks or whatever. But like, it was like some of the Bears fans were teaming on Seahawks because they wanted Rams to get beat, and then some people were like, "Oh no, go beat them,"
Touchdown, Seattle!
Early lead right here. We kick off the ball to them, and then they don't score, obviously. And then we score, and I'm like, yeah, this is good. This is a good sign already, And we get the ball at halftime, I was super hyped, dude. Super hyped.
There's about 4 unblocked Rams in the hole, and Walker just stutters his feet and then uses his speed to the perimeter. They're going to feel like they have to go 150 yards for a touchdown, not the normal length of the field.
And guys, look, in case if anyone thinks I'm a fake or fan or like a bandwagon, let me just prove this. Look at this on the screen. 2015. I was a fan before this, but this is May, and I'm like, go Hawks, and I post this quote by Russell Wilson. And just look at my cringe ass account, dude. But like, look, Seattle Seahawks, and this account, I lost access to it probably in like 2014, 15, something like that. But yeah, man, I've been there when Seahawks lost Super Bowl to Patriots, and I was stuck there waiting for a Super Bowl year in, year out, and we've just been doing terrible or losing in the playoffs with, Geno Smith, Wilson getting his finger injured and getting traded or whatever, I've been there. I've been through it all. As a kid, so it feels good, it feels fulfilling. Dude, Nakua had a really good catch, dude. When I seen something, like, whoa, man. Nakua's not bad, dude. They better pay him up, dude, because Nakua is a rookie and he's not getting paid very good right now. I think he can't even afford a house in LA right now, which is terrible.
This one from 44.
So get that man a house,
Drills it. It is good. So the Rams take the big play to Nakua and settle things down a bit there on the board. Make it 7-3 Seattle in the first.
7-3. I was like, this isn't bad. We're still ahead.
Darnold on the fake. Rolling left, throws underneath. It's A.J. Barner, the tight end, who's got a first down. On the play fake. Darnold looks to set up a screen to Walker. A lot of room to run. First down and more for Kenneth Walker.
See, dude, Walker's an MVP, dude. He went off. Like, in my eye, MVP.
Checks into the game in the backfield, subbing for Charbonnet. Fake it to him. Darnold roll. Looking, throwing. Oh,
Jackson Smith-Njigba one-hander.
He did! Come on! Smith-Njigba just terrific.
It's a Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Leaping over the pile.
Walker, too. Walker, man. Like I said, Cooper Kupp, dude. I'm so glad we took Cooper Kupp from Rams. What a beast.
Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Third and goal. Darnold. Time. Zips it. And it's incomplete. Try to get it in there to A.J. Barner.
Jason Myers with the kick, and then Michael Dixon holding it. Nice.
And that kick is up and through. So the Seahawks make it back to a 7-point game.
And you need the guys to go forward. There's a little alert, that little sign that
we were ahead most of the game,
toward his helmet
and it gives it to Nakua, who runs outside and then gets hit pretty hard, but keep on going.
Not a lot of teams do that. Someone's just playing a huddle, and that's what they run.
Let me just say, man, Matthew Stafford, I don't hate him, but, like, I hate the Rams because they're all rivals in a way, But, like, ever since Matthew Stafford was on Lions, I always had love and support for him because I knew he was a good quarterback, Because I liked him better on Lions. Same thing with Jared Goff. Like, now that Jared Goff's on Lions, I like him because he's not on Rams, because we don't have to play him 2 or 3 times. We don't have to play him 2 or 3 times a year, In this scenario, we had to play them 2 times the regular season and another time in the playoffs, which sucks, Playing against the Rams is not fun, bro. They got an insane defense, and it's just not a fun game. Obviously, I know we can still win and beat them or whatever, but like it's just like, do you really want to play them? No. Like realistically, Bears would have been an easier game for us. But when Rams beat the Bears, I was like, man, I know we're gonna win, but it's gonna be more of a challenge. It's gonna be a worse. You have to actually try. Like this whole game, legit, I was so jittery, man. Devontae Adams had a good catch right here.
Down to the 22 and a first down for LA. 3rd and 10. Stafford in trouble. Big trouble.
Nice. Got the sack. See, they recovered that fumble. That would have been bad. That could have been really bad for them.
So they miss one there. Here's Mevis from 50 yards out.
Nice kick.
Is drilled right up and through.
What the hell?
Mevis from 50
you got people
yards
legit
out.
just standing in the middle of the aisle at the game, like just in the middle of the stadium, just standing watching it. That's insane.
Drilled right up and through. And so
one of the worst things I hate about being at a game is if like you're next to an obnoxious person who's like legit just drinking beer, and like if you are, they're gonna be kind of all up on you or like spitting near you and whatnot. So like it just sucks, because if you got someone who's obnoxious next to you, you're not even gonna really enjoy the whole game. You're just gonna be sitting there kind of glass half full type of thing. You're like, I spent this much money and I have to be next to this guy just bothering me, But lucky enough, at the game I was never really I wasn't near anyone that was bad. It was just one guy. It was just one guy next to me. But other than that, the other Seahawks fans were really cool. Like the girls in front of me were really cool. There was like a guy wearing a Smith-Njigba jersey that was really cool. And they were all really nice, friendly people.
Ultimately led to the University of Michigan back and now thriving in the NFC Championship game.
Here's Darnold, pressure now, throws it. Smith-Njigba's got the catch up in midfield. That's a first down for the Seahawks. Yeah, I'd say that internship paid off.
Internship.
4-man rush, pressure, Darnold.
Man, see, right here is where I was worried. Right here was where I was worried.
Yeah, I'd say that internship
They cut it out, but he took a sack right here, okay? So he took a sack, and he lost 19 yards. And then next thing you know, it's 2nd and 19, right? And Seahawks it's 10-6. We have a lead. I'm thinking, we scored another touchdown. we're up by 11. Perfect, keep the momentum going or whatever, all game, right? Kind of like blow them out a bit. But this happens.
Second and long. 4-man rush. Pressure.
Gets sacked. And I'm just like, damn, dude. There's no way. There's no way we're getting a first down after that.
Braden Fisk gets the first Rams sack of the night.
Oh, boy.
As a boomer. Xavier Smith way back at the
That happens. And then, this happens. I'm like, dude. So we punt it. We punt it or whatever. Michael Dixon has a pretty good punt.
Oh, boy.
As a boomer. Xavier Smith way back at the 10.
And this player's on the side or like, I'm just like, dude, if this guy was in front of him, this would have been perfect, dude. Perfect opportunity to get the ball. But, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, whatever.
Back on it. Boy, that was a fortuitous bounce, boy.
So many games come down to a
I was like, dude, come on. You got to get that.
pretty remarkable.
Here's
Man.
Parkinson, the tight end, and
Okay.
that is going to be good for a first down. First time that Stafford has targeted a tight end today, and they've been a huge part of this year.
Simplifies the defensive structure when you have all those tight ends on the field, and Matt just is able to deal with the open guy.
Stafford rips one, 2-2.
Nice.
Traffic, and
Dude.
he hauls it in. Into Seattle territory goes.
I'm not even going to hate, dude. Nakua is good, He's good. He's not a bad guy. He's definitely not a bad guy off the field either. He's really, really nice guy. But when people say he's better than Smith and Jigba, I just don't agree, I don't agree with that. I just don't. But I think he's definitely not bad. I think he's in the conversations for like top 5, top 10 or something, but I wouldn't say he's better just yet.
And he picks up 21. Corum has stayed in the backfield. Draw to him.
He's probably better like yards after with run yards after catching because he's really fast, But I feel like Smith and Jigba's always catching it, He's always. You've seen that one-hander, like he had a touchdown pass with Drew Lock 2 or 3 years ago against the Eagles. Like this guy, it doesn't matter who his QB is, dude. You know what I mean?
Some room to go. Corum gets to the edge. Blake Corum inside the 30.
That was a good run.
Down to the 25.
There's Puka in the backfield.
Stafford looking at him, connects with Nakua, who was run out of bounds about 1.5 yards shy of a first down. Stafford looking, floats when Williams wide open, and he
Dude,
scores!
I was so mad at her, dude. At this point, I was like, dude, at this rate, dude, if our defense keeps playing this, we lost, bro. You all left a wide open ass running back to catch the ball. Like, who the hell, dude? You gotta make sure you see that. You cannot leave this guy wide open. You should not be triple or double coveraging someone. You should be watching and seeing in case the running back is going out for a pass sometimes, That was terrible, dude. Terrible.
It didn't look easy. It just ends up being slightly zone coverage, but they match the zone, so everyone's going across. I don't know how you lose track of Kyron Williams out there.
4-man rush. Darnold near side. Good strong.
That was,
catch
see,
there
dude.
by-
Like, he still caught that, bro. Look at Bobo, man. I've seen him at the game, dude. Bobo's really nice, dude. Bobo should really be in the game most of the time.
Smith and Jigba, that
It's
was
a
not
Jackson
easy.
Smith
Darius
and
Williams
Jigba.
all over him.
Like, dude, every day that the Seahawks would play, I would always wake up, watching it, dude. Like, I don't care if I go to sleep at 5 a.m. that day. I would wake up at 10 or 11 a.m. watching it. 2 p.m., 6 p.m., whatever time it started, I was there, The day I went to the game, I showed up to the game like 10 minutes late. Not the game clock, my like regular time, because of the traffic it was so bad and it was so packed and whatnot, But I had a headache at the game and everything too. But I still showed up. I was still invested. It was worth it, This team probably doesn't even care about me, They don't even care. But it's I'm just so invested because I've watched and I've been a fan of the team for so long, It's a part of my life, As much as I'd like to just be like, oh, no, forget this, I'm going to stop watching. And even last year when Geno Smith was doing bad, I was like, there was times where I was like, I just want to stop watching the games. Like, it's just a waste of time because my team's doing so bad. But I was still there, you know. I was still watching.
Pressure. Darnold launching deep.
And I feel like the Geno Smith hate is so forced. You know, I don't think anyone should be hating on Geno Smith.
Pressure. Darnold.
Look at this.
Deep.
Oh my God! Like that throw wasn't the best throw in the world because you kind of have to see he kind of hopped for it, but dude still made the catch.
It's caught and hanging on, and Smith and Jigba. Darnold underneath Helani makes the catch. A little room to run.
He gets the job done though. Nice by the second string.
When he runs out, it's really hard for any defensive back to get a beat on what he's doing.
Darnold looking at him again.
Dude, and nice. Wide open Jackson Smith-Njigba. I was so happy with this too, man. Let's go. And the thing is, this was before halftime, so I'm like, because we stopped them right before this. And I'm like, and we punted right before we stopped them too. But right when this happened, like even this Rams lady is happy. But right here, I'm like thinking, okay, after halftime, we get the ball back, and we can score again, which is perfect. But we didn't, you know, that didn't happen. Put me in, coach.
Time and pass protection. Smith and Jigba in the backfield. They get
Bro,
enough
what
time
the?
for him to kind of.
Yo, look at this blocking right here, dude. Look at Bradford. Look at Bradford. Dude gets absolutely.
Get enough time.
Dude gets absolutely rolled over, man.
For him to kind of stand in the pocket, wait for that to develop. He comes out. Cooper Kupp takes the underneath part of the
Perfect.
coverage. And
Lake.
I just don't know.
I'm sorry, Lake. You couldn't get to him, Lake.
Stafford to throw it. Has some time.
Yeah, I guess you can't spell Lake without L, right? Not it.
Over the middle, he goes to Tyler Higbee, the longtime Ram. Upended at the 41-yard line. They'll call their final timeout with 8 seconds left. So, all right, 8 seconds to go, no timeouts. It's only a 3-man rush. Stafford.
Oh no.
Dude, right here, I was like, dude, come on, man. Nah, he got it though. The thing people don't realize is Stafford used to be a scrambler and runner back on Lions. You know, he used to scramble a lot more because he didn't have a good offensive line on Lions, dude. This guy went through absolute hell on Lions, dude. I seen a play where he got his shoulder popped and he still made like a Hail Mary throw, you know.
Trouble.
I remember watching Lions versus Packers, and Matthew Stafford would still come up clutching, man, and I'd be rooting for Matthew Stafford on the Lions, you know. I'd be like, yo, you got this, you know. But yeah, right here, man, he fumbles, and no Seahawks player gets the ball. And right here, when he got the ball, right, I'm like, dude, this is a live ball. No one made contact, you know. I'm like, this could be a touchdown. But yeah, they said it was down or the clock ran, either or. You know. Ball was down, I guess. Matthew Stafford was down, but that could have been a touchdown, dude. That would have been insane.
There's no bullseye to hit with him.
Darnold pressure again, steps away, and he's sacked.
Bro, come on, bro. We can't be. I was getting frustrated, dude. We get the ball, and I'm like, dude, we can't be having that. Like, you're not gonna score right here.
And they grant McVay's wish.
Like, the thing is, against Rams, you have to scramble, man. If Sam Darnold's not scrambling, because last game when we lost, when we're about to lose to Rams, it was 37-38. We're losing the whole game until fourth quarter when Sam Darnold started scrambling. That's when we started doing good and winning, because he started scrambling, started buying time to make throws. You know, that's the only way. That's how you got to beat this team. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
Let the best punter in the league come out and change.
Dude, I seen this guy, Michael Dixon in person when I went to the game. Dude, this guy is actually the best punter. You know, look at this. Look at this punt.
So they'll try and do.
It goes all the way to like the 10, 20. He's always making it to like the 10, 20-yard line, you know, around there. Boom. Muffed.
He lost it. Seattle recovers.
I was so hyped, dude. And this turns into a touchdown right here.
It's been a clear Achilles heel for this team. Getting kicks blocked. They fired their special teams coach in December.
Nice.
And you just...
Nice, man. Yo, man, if any Seahawks players can get in contact with another, if anyone knows any Seahawks players or can get in contact, I don't care if it's a third string, second string. I don't care. I don't care if it's a retired Seahawk, Cam Chancellor, whoever. I don't care. Earl Thomas, even better. You know, retired players, even better. I don't even care. Doug Baldwin, whatever. If y'all can send me a signed jersey, or if y'all can sign a jersey, I would frame it and put it up on my wall. Like, you know what I mean? Next to my plaque. That'd be perfect. Perfect gift, you know? As a 10, 11-year, 12-year Seahawks fan, you know? Whatever it is, you know? Because I've been a Seahawks fan for years, you know? And obviously me buying a jersey signed isn't the same as getting it actually signed directly for me, you know? Because I could just go on Facebook and go buy a signed jersey, but what's the fun in that? Jake Bobo, man. See, this guy's good too, but that's what I'm saying, dude. I was so hyped when Jake Bobo did this, dude. I'm always happy when I see Jake Bobo in. I remember on Instagram, some guy named Jake Bobo worshiper would always post, and I would always like his posts.
It's a great throw by Darnold and a great job by Kubiak dialing that up.
Now it's Stafford's turn on play action. Float one deep. Parkinson, beauty, and he's still on his feet. Parkinson down inside the 40.
Man, Love, we got, what, Kobe Bryant and Love, dude. Love did really good this game, too. I was so hyped when we're up 24-13.
Stafford now lets it rip far sideline. Devontae Adams is down inside the 5. They go 3 tight ends again here.
I felt so anxious this game. I was sweating.
Adams is in.
It was not fun. It was not fun.
That is some answer.
But now, man, we holding the trophy and we're going to the Super Bowl, man.
Kenneth Walker got off to a hot
Kenneth
start.
Walker, nice.
Been held down together since.
He was always like, he would always look and then try to find an opening and then run.
The Rams have found a way to tighten it up for him.
That wasn't even a good run though, you know.
Tough place to overcome.
Darnold, time, wide open.
Cooper Kupp, boom, first down.
Cooper Kupp. Pick up a 3rd and long. Here's Walker. Looking for a little seam, and you don't need much with him.
Cooper Kupp really wasn't good in the beginning of the season, but he started being good out of nowhere.
Down, he's got 11. That's Jackson
For
Smith
us,
and
you know.
Jigba in motion. They're going to throw it to him, as you said. Gets a block and a
Jackson Smith and Jigba, first down.
You
Nice.
said every time he's in the backfield, they're going to throw it to him, and they did.
He's made the most of his opportunity. Hasn't been perfect this year by any stretch, but they love that he's a real football player. He gets in there and relates to his offensive line.
He's like, do some movement. Kenneth Walker. Right here, I was like, pass it Kenneth Walker. Nope. Cooper Kupp, touchdown.
Touchdown, Seahawks.
I feel like Sam Darnold can work on his vision, like with spotting some people open sometimes. Because I've watched games where someone will be wide open and he'll just not pass it to them, you know? And I'm like, dude, as a quarterback, you have to have that vision. You have to be able to see. You have to see those when the receivers are open. You have to see, you know. But he's definitely getting better, you know.
The inside gets cleared out, and then Coop just feels
Boom.
the sweet spot in that zone. Darnold kind of looks to the left, opens up that voided zone a little bit. See the eyes get wide open when you see the receiver. It feels like 200 yards. I said that earlier in the game, the way this defense is playing.
Stafford going to go deep to Devontae Adams, and he gets a lot of it.
The problem with Sam Darnold, too, is like, you know, obviously no disrespect to Sam Darnold. I'm not saying bad stuff. I'm just saying this so he can improve or, like, you know. But that last Rams game when we almost lost to them, he would always have vision like this and just he would eye the receiver and his eyes would get wide open like. So, like, they would read his eyes and intercept it, you know. Once he started playing it off, he'll look the other way and then he'll toss it. That's when we start scoring, you know what I mean? Because that game, that was a close-ass game. Like, they were going to win that game, you know? But once he started doing that, we started winning. And that's something Matthew Stafford does himself, too, you know? Matthew Stafford definitely has IQ, you know?
Oh, Devontae Adams has come alive in this game, and he beat Witherspoon again.
Because Matthew Stafford's he's been in the game. He's been in the game for a while. And right here, I was like, dude, that could have been a pick right there.
Well, that was close. Reek Woolen at his hands.
4th and 12. Okay, guys, 4th and 12. Look at this.
Did play receiver.
Was a receiver.
Stafford. Yeah.
I was like,
penalty flag, like way after the play.
I was like, dude, if he intercepted that, man, that would have been perfect, right?
Assuming this play was over, so what could this possibly be here?
I think this is going to be unsportsmanlike on Seattle.
Yeah, but look at this. 31-20. We can score a touchdown right here, right? We have good field position, and it will be 38-20.
After the play. Happened well
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, Seattle number 27. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot.
He was basically mocking like Matthew Stafford in the sideline, pretty much. Look at this.
That was 4th and 12.
Rookie mistake right there. Rookie mistake. Terrible, dude. We don't need that. And then look at this.
He's going at the Rams bench. That's directed at
Matthew Stafford's face was like.
That's a big penalty because going 4th down, now it's a 1st down.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford's face was like. He was like, what? He's like, what the hell? You know what I mean? And obviously, like, if the team gets mad like that, they're not gonna let that slide. You know. But they're going to definitely call something.
Now we'll see if they can make them pay.
If no one saw and it was, like, far away from them, then that would have been different. Like, if he was talking from across the field to the Seahawks sideline, nothing would happen. The fact that he went up close and did it, that's why, you know. I was mad about it, but I was like, damn, dude. Like, we had the game in our hands right there, secured, right? We score a touchdown and boom. We don't have to stress about the game no more, pretty much, right? But because he just did that, he put them back in the ball game, and they got a 1st and 15. They got 15 yards.
Stafford, low going deep. Nakua's open.
Boom, touchdown.
Got it, touchdown.
We did not need that, man. We did not.
Goes right for him, back to Woolen, who just got the penalty. Slight bubble.
And it's on Woolen to make things worse.
Unbelievable catch by Nakua, and a great job by Stafford.
You got to be behind him right there. You got zone coverage.
There's
like,
just a little stutter at that move point, which is about 14
zone coverage
yards.
right there would have been perfect. You got to be behind the receiver right there.
Passing takes place.
Smack it out.
So when you can just freeze the defensive back's foot, even the slightest bit, that's where you get
man
the
coverage is like
down the field. A costly penalty by Woolen, and then giving up the deep one-on-one with, of course, Puka Nakua.
The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
Wow.
That play is now under video review.
Yeah, so they
like Richard Sherman would not let that happen, dude. Like Richard Sherman would not, you know.
Now it certainly looks there that he's in. I think that would take a lot to overturn. Oh my goodness. Blitz coming. Darnold sees it, gets rid of it, complete. Walker. I think he got it. Where do they mark it? Ooh. Very close. What's the call? They say he's got it.
You know, an infinite amount more time.
Oh, look out. Cam
terrible, dude. Terrible. That was terrible right there. For Sam, I mean, you know.
Where did he come
that was a good sack for them, though. He's like, what the heck, man? He's like, where's the offensive line? Dude, because look at this. What? There's like, okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 3. See, I don't even get this, right? I don't get this, okay? We have 5 people blocking, okay? Pay close attention. We have 5 people blocking, and somehow, right? Look, there's one guy right here. Who's this guy blocking? I don't know. You know, I guess they were double teaming. You got this guy blocking him, and then this guy somehow gets through. You know,
the middle throws.
Like, come on, you know, there. One or two bad linemen it's always gonna cause that same problem, you know. We've always struggled with bad linemen, man.
Stafford looking to be his best here. Has some protection, zips it underneath the Corum, a little sidearm throw, and Blake Corum with a big run. He's got 15 on the reception.
Got this amazing arm talent. It opens up underneath parts of the field, and Seattle just hasn't been able to stymie him in any of the games they faced this season.
Kyron Williams is wide open out of the backfield, makes a nice move, and still on his feet. He's got a first down.
And right here at this point, I'm just frustrated. I'm just like, man, they're about to score right here, pretty much, you know. So they're just getting closer and closer. We're not even getting a stop. Right here, they get the first down too. He runs it in. I'm like, dude, Lawrence, you got to make that tackle. Look, you got your hands right there. You know, he's right by the line of scrimmage. You got to make that tackle, right? And he doesn't. You know, he gets the first.
He gets there. So a 1st and 5 after the penalty. Stafford looks to the screen. It's not there. Now shuttles it out to Nakua. What a great play that was.
Smart play by Nakua. He turns his back so he doesn't get injured, and he kind of covers the ball in a way,
and
you know.
Nakua's got a first down.
Smart move.
It's one-on-one. He usually goes there.
And then right here, it's 3rd and 4. He misses.
Now searching. Sidearm throwing it.
Good defense by Witherspoon right here. So it's 4th and 4. Because they're like, if I kick a field goal, it's 30-31. So, you know, field goal does me no good right now. But in the long run of the game, if you want to go kick another field goal, maybe it will, you know. But they're like, nah, let's take the lead. We don't have time or whatever, right? So they decide to go for it. But my team does really good in the red zone, you know. If this was 30 yards back, maybe you could score. But in the red zone, nah, it's not happening, man. My defense is too good. Let's go. Look at this. Boom. Almost pit.
Seattle takes over.
I don't know what he was mad. I don't know what he was mad about. I don't know.
And you still got to be very aggressive offensively.
I don't know if he thought it was a flag or what, but we stopped him on 4th. I'm like, nice, dude. I was so hyped when we stopped him. And at this point, we can just score a touchdown, run out the clock, and it's like the game's ours, you know. But I'm like, a touchdown secures the dub because it's like what we're up by 11, you know. So at this point, I'm just like, let's just score a touchdown, secure it. But my team's just trying to run out the clock, not even caring about the touchdown, which is kind of reckless. I don't know why they were thinking that. I think they were just scared to throw a pick or like an interception at this time.
Still rolling up to the 25. Rams rush 4. Darnold, pressure up the middle, throws. Cooper Kupp hangs on. Now the ball's out. They say he's down, but did he get there?
Yeah, his knees,
Boy, this is close.
his knees were down already,
really close.
And he was reaching in for the first down.
3:05 left. Darnold on the play pass. Flushed down the pocket, throws on the run. Man open, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He is out of bounds, but it's a first down. 180. I think they got to run it here.
Oh, my goodness.
They won't. Darnold on a play action.
Yeah, this was
it's incomplete, and there's a flag, though.
holding on Cooper Kupp.
Thrown, holding. Defense number 14. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, there's Durant on Cooper Kupp, and he is. He's just covering with his hands, not his feet. And you just don't need to do that in that situation. You have enough speed to creep up.
Baby,
Kupp,
calm down.
but he just panics
Calm down.
in this situation. Easy call.
Dude. Was anyone pissed when that happened? Okay, so look, this happens. He gets choked up, you know. I don't know why you keep running it. At least do like a screen pass or something, you know. Right here's a pass, but it's already too late, you know. Should have went for the pass before, you know. I'm sure you would have got the first down, you know. You get the first down, and then at that point, if you want to make a kick, you make a kick. If you want to score, you score, you know. And you got a timeout too, you know. You have nothing to worry about.
Last breath.
Seattle's got to guard the sidelines. Nothing.
And then right here, they get the ball because I think we punted it. Yeah, so we punted it with Michael Dixon, and then they get the ball on the 5 or 10 yard line.
Down the field and out of
7 yard line, something like that. So they get the ball. Gets a nice pass to Nakua. He goes straight to Nakua. He's like, yeah, this is my trusted guy. They have no timeouts because they wasted it in like the 3-minute mark, I want to say.
Time is running at the 30.
And then they got 10 minutes because they got 10 seconds because they spiked the ball. And then he passes it to Nakua, and he's like, yo, you know, we can probably get one more pass, maybe score a touchdown. But Nakua's sliding, and his knees already touching the ground, you know. He's not tiptoeing or running out of bounds. So because of that, the clock was running. And they lost. I feel kind of bad for Nakua because Nakua Nakua made an insane attempt, bro. Like this guy's committed. Like this, Nakua and Stafford, man, they really just played their hearts out. You know, they did insanely good.
To Super Bowl 60.
And I'm already like, yo, we're going to the Super Bowl, dude. I don't know. Y'all can try to go for that one play, and maybe if you want to re-review that and go for another play. Regardless, you know, you're not going to catch it on the best defense, you know. With 3 seconds, with the pressure, you know. At that point, you can only get one play off, and that's it, you know.
Make sure Nakua got out of bounds, but they ran the clock on the field. Let's see.
Stafford dime to Nakua.
Boom, knees down.
Yep.
He's in.
They said it, not me, you know.
Just confirming the runner was down inbounds.
With the shin.
The game is now over.
Unbelievable.
Seahawks win.
Seahawks win. And we're the number 1 seed. We're at home. There's no way Rams fans thought they were gonna come to the first seed Seahawks home and beat us in the 12-man stadium. There's no way they thought that. You know, and without that, let's say we got that fumble earlier or whatever. Let's say Woolen never did that flag, that never did that unsportsmanlike. We would have had the stop. We would have been up 38-20, and the game would have been in an even more insane ballpark. But we were already up by 4 with the ball in our hands, punted it, and then y'all get the ball, and then y'all have to score a touchdown to win. Y'all can't even score a field goal. Y'all got to score a touchdown.
Takes the Seahawks to their 4th ever Super Bowl. First time since 2014, and they beat the Rams in an absolute thriller.
Man, what a good feeling. What a feeling. What a nice feeling. What a nice time to be a Seahawks fan, you know. Obviously, I've been a Seahawks fan, but, like, being a Seahawks fan hasn't felt so good, man. Honestly, I knew we were going to go to the Super Bowl. I don't want to say ever since the first game of the season, because we lost the first game of the season. But, like, once we got the first seed and we were, like, beating Vikings by 26-0, beating Colts, and we're, like, number 1 power ranked, I was like, dude, we're actually a threat. Like, I watch other games, you know. I don't just watch Seahawks games, you know. I watch other games, and I'm like, dude, Seahawks are a threat. You know, they beat the crap out of Texans, but Texans beat the Steelers, and, you know, it just really shows how good they are, you know. And I think they're a really dangerous team, you know, the most dangerous team in the NFL right now. Like, Broncos and Patriots aren't even as dangerous as them, you know. And that's unbiased. Like, as much as you can say, oh, you're a Seahawks fan, that's unbiased, bro, because I have a feeling we're going to beat Patriots by a lot, man. You know, as a Seahawks fan, go Hawks, man. Seattle Seahawks remain unbeaten, and we're going to the Super Bowl. But once we got the first seed, I was like, yeah, we're going. I was like, yeah, we got the home field advantage. Every time Seahawks have got the first seed, we went to the Super Bowl. That's what I've been telling all these Seahawks fans. Like, they're like so scared. Like, oh, we're not gonna go to Super Bowl. I'm scared. I'm like, dude, we're gonna win. I'm like, every time Seahawks have got the first seed, we've always won the Super Bowl. That's a stat, you know. Stamp that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, what an incredible game. Proud of this team. Proud of the
running at the 30.
I forgive Woolen, and you should too. You know, you guys shouldn't be so harsh on him. Obviously, he's gonna learn from that. He's not gonna do it again. You know, but yeah, Witherspoon, Love, Dixon, Myers, Jackson, Sam, Kenneth Walker, Hulani, Cooper Kupp, and Jake Bobo, Barner, Kenneth Walker. They all played really good. The rest, I don't know. You know, other games I've seen other players play good, like Ernest Jones, I want to say. I've seen other players play good on other games, but this game, those are the people that I saw the most of, where I was like, yeah. But yeah, man, I know Geno Smith is sitting on his couch right now. I don't know how he feels. I don't know if he's mad or what, but Geno Smith isn't a bad guy, you know. I still follow him on Instagram. He's definitely a cool guy, and same with Pete Carroll, you know. I freaking love Pete Carroll still, you know. I don't think Pete Carroll has anything to do with us losing or anything like that, you know. Nobody should give hate to Pete Carroll. If Pete Carroll was still on this team, I don't think it would be a huge difference, you know. It definitely wouldn't. I think this team that we have has always been good. We got a few defensive players and rebuilt a little bit. We got a new quarterback because we didn't want to pay Geno Smith the extra $5 million. And I think Sam Darnold is just good enough to where he can make the throws to our receivers because we have some good receivers and we picked up Cooper Kupp. So we're not a bad team. We just needed a little bit. We just needed a better rhythm with our team, and we'd be good. We were just a little bit incomplete last year, but if we had that little gap, we would have been a lot better, you know. But obviously Mike Macdonald's insane coach, man, coach of the year so far. But yeah, man, no hate. I'm saying no hate. Don't send no hate to old Seahawks players or Geno Smith. But yeah, man, that's gonna wrap up the video. Super excited to go to the Super Bowl, man. Like I said, what a surreal, blessed moment. Blessed to be a Seahawks fan, man. Type of moment, you know. And yeah, shout out to all the 12s. Shout out to all the fans, man. Shout out. Let's go. Look at that green. Look at that green Seahawks eye, man. Look at the green, man. Neon green. Let's go, dude. Let's go. From back then when we lost to the Rams, I knew eventually we'd face the Rams again and beat them. So we did it. Let's go. Much love, man. Peace out.